saying we are read-only at the moment when we are looking at advertisements. So to make you also right with the next lecture, I would ask you to come forward, because there will be only this picture, this little blurb. So nothing to see really, so I want to have you sit here in front of me, a little bit more close. Zack, zack. I mean, I'm quite thankful that you're still here. Some of you have been here from the early morning, and you can still come closer. I mean, here's the first row. Hey, I love girls with red hair. Here, and boys with beards are also mine, and I love what do you have on a t-shirt? Stripe, yes, come here. The t-shirt is also nice. Okay, that's better. Yes, come. Actually, I was, first of all, I'm Baurhenn, one of the directors of the CTM Festival, formerly known as Transmediale, and also head of the project ECAS-Networking Tomorrow's Art for Now and Future. And why we probably have today the theme ubiquitous art and sound is because this is like the theme of the working period in our little working program in our 5 years funded, EU-funded project. And the working period, so probably you asked what are the first ones. So we started as a group of 9 organizations who are also running festivals all over Europe, from Tromsø in Norway down to, there's not really down to Graz in Austria, and then it spreads out a bit left and right in Europe. Today's Art is one huge partner. Thematics from Brussels, you probably also know, and it's from Poland tonight, tomorrow night, the Solaris show is also co-presented by the Sound Festival in Krakow, also one of our partners, and also CTM. So we are all organizations who are mostly, or let's say, our common ground is sound or music. So if I refer to sound, I also always include music. When we were sitting together already 4 years ago, 2009, we were thinking, what's happening in the realm of sound and in the bigger realm of arts. So as music is also art, obviously. And we were thinking, first of all, what are we? We are all running festivals, and what is the task of the festival, and what should the festival do? And quite a lot of people think the festival should present, of course, like the best things that are actually happening. And we thought, no, that's not true. Festivals are probably more like a public platform to show our continuous work over the year. So festivals are more like a laboratory, and this is only the 2 days, for example, tomorrow and Saturday is only like a little showcase of what today's art is doing all around here, as also CTM Festival is also only a little display what we are doing around the year. So we have a little introspection start. So what is a festival? Festival should be a laboratory. And why? Because laboratory is work in progress. It's quite precise, and laboratories can have good results, but laboratories can also explode. So everything is open. We did that, and then we thought, okay, what else? So then we have looked on ourselves, and then the second theme is, and we are still in the second phase, because like the work periods are overlapping, so now we are in this interim time between second work period that is called Networks of Advanced Sound, bridging different medias and enabling citizen innovation. Also a nice title for EU applications. And Bridging is, of course, the question. I mean, like we heard it today in different talks. So, one speaker, I'm so bad with names. Wait. Dick Reiten was speaking of the end of music. Yeah, for him, music is dead, not for us, thankfully. Because like also the second work period is about this bridging, and we also talked about, and Esther Venroy was mentioning that of course she was trained instrument player. I told you instrument, what was it? Saxophone. and then you could say she switched over to the fine art scene, where she's now presenting probably more, and I don't know your reception in music, but it's probably like a meandering between two worlds. And of course, this is also what he had in mind with this bridging, that probably with the invention of the computer, it became quite clear that the computer is a universal machine, so you can do everything with this. And obviously, art follows this technological development in becoming a universal thing, like this little blob, for example. So we have this art strangely formatting in the context. Here the context is yellow and bright. And like to make a little bit self-promotion, I would say, so we are now reaching like an amazing phase in history of art, so that everything is at our disposal. And so everything is not only at our disposal, but everything is also appearing everywhere. So every day you meet art. I mean, you lick your little stamp to put it on your postcard. So on the stamp, what is there? Normally art. You take your euro coins out of your pocket. What is on the back side? There's someone who was thinking about the designer, thinking about the back side. What can I do? It's art. So also in these things, you have art. So it's not only in the street. I mean, probably also designers of McDonald's advertisers would say that they are doing art. What of course we don't think, but they, as reactions that Juliet Roth are also somehow proving. So in this third working period, we are actually also proclaiming in a way that you can't make these differentiations anymore. And I also would say this, because like, and I mean, I really like the different little, I mean, Julian Oliver's lecture was not amazing by its content, but by what he's doing. I mean, he was writing code. So nowadays we would say that as soon as you work with a computer, you are doing literature, because you are writing code, even if you don't know it. So probably all arts become literature. Question. And this is, I think, the most amazing thing, that you can't make these differentiations anymore. And of course, like all this digital reality changed our lives completely. And yesterday night when I was thinking, because I was thinking like, what happened to all of us by using also these little devices? I mean, like, Dick Reiten also mentioned like the development of the MP3 player. So you see the change in the world by, I mean, I checked up on online forums, and there I found some nice quotes from people who were asked, how did the MP3 player change your life? I mean, they asked for a special brand, but I won't name it here, no advertisement. So for example, one person said, it changed me mentally. Now I'm deathly afraid of silence. Interesting, the threat of silence. I mean, did we live before in a world without sound? Or also others are becoming more addicted. So there was one person saying, I have become a music hermit and decided to live in a cave. So dedication to sound only, obviously. Or like in everyday life, I mean, like descriptions, or when do we use, now I'm going a bit more more narrowing it down to sound. So where is sound? I mean, it's not, recently, I mean, there's all this talk about like sound is in shopping malls, in elevators, blah, blah, blah. And if you go through your city, then you see it's not really true. It's a little bit an American picture, probably in the US there's sound everywhere. But actually, when you go in the Stadthaus here and take the elevator, there's no sound. There's only me breathing, or like the sound of a machine going up and down. Or recently in Berlin, I went to one of the big shopping malls, because I'm from Berlin. On Alexanderplatz, this wonderful ugly shopping mall called Alexa. And I never go there, and I had to go there, because there's one specific shop. And I was wandering there, to the mall, looking for my shop, and there was no sound in the shopping mall. I mean, there was sound in the shops, so when I enter H&M in the shopping mall, there was sound, but in the shopping mall itself, there was no sound. But we have sound everywhere, because like we are choosing it. Like another person says in this book, I use my MP3 player when I go to bed, just put an album on and I'm asleep in minutes. Also when I go in the car, it makes the journey fun. Also just sitting around, playing through my 5.1 surround sound speakers sounds very good. So it's probably also our choice that sound is everywhere. And the question is, what does it do to us? I mean, some say, quote again, MP3 players make my life easier, especially when I'm in something like boring conference or meeting. I just plug in on myself, escape from them totally. No stress, that's the way of my life is going. So, obviously art seems also to be, and music, a form of escapism. But I think it's also quite interesting, so we can feel the world, but also art explains the world. So we are dealing with both sides, so fleeing and seeing. And this encounter we are encountering every day, so you can either see it or you can ignore it, but it's actually quite nice. And of course there are some little helpers as the art viewer, how's it called from Julian Oliver? Advertiser, so you can be quite active in the art in the everyday. So, what I like, I mean, this is of course one of the things we are now, to go back to our little project, what we are trying to research, and also I think what we are trying to do and what we saw also as normally festivals or conventions dealing with sound, that is that there's this sort of dissolution of the difference, of the separations of the fields of art. So nowadays, I mean, either you embrace it, you take it all, and try to find your way, or you be a reductionist, and then you get, of course, formalists like Dick Reitens was saying, so like music is only about form, so it's stuck in formalism. So, but this is like quite a nice way also to deal with this positive or negative cornucopia. I don't know the Dutch word, Füllhorn. Yeah. So either you like it or you don't like it, but it's there. So as art is there everywhere. So what makes it then, and I think we did also see it during the whole day, what makes it then interesting to place sound or to go somewhere to make art, why to put art everywhere. And because it challenges the context. So you could also say that nowadays it's not anymore about, I mean, this is of course polemic, but it's not anymore about the content, but it's about the context where you are in. So, and I think this is what we all have to think about also in this ubiquitous topic. So probably you don't see the art on your Eurocoin, but of course you see the art that is on the spoil plane. So there is the big vortex of Founder Board, this is art, wonderful. But I think we have to dive deeper into the world and see that we are surrounded by it and that we also can play with it. And I think then we can recontextualize things. And then it's getting interesting. So perhaps we are at a moment in this wonderful times where art is not only ubiquitous, but we reach a time where art and especially also music is omnipresent. So there are no more timelines. So there's no more, like we also had it before in this again big icons, like there's no linear thing anymore, but there's this more like also with Eric with this multi-layers, and yeah, everything is more and more present, and we have to work with this presence. The presence of a million things that are there, we have to make a choice. So probably also to turn the ubiquitous theme around, at the end stands the question, how do we choose? And what do we choose? And where do we put the chosen things? And in my opinion, these tensions that are created then make it interesting, or make art interesting, and also triggers the choice in what kind of realm you are playing and which kind of tools you are using to reach what you want to do in which context.